So signing the contract is really the key that unlocks an assortment of resources, many of which will follow you throughout your relationship with URAC, with one being the assignment of a client relations manager. Your client relations manager will provide continuity of contact regardless of where you are in your accreditation process. You'll also receive access to AccrediTation, the system where your desktop review takes place and where there's a specific resource area for you as well. And you'll also receive the accreditation guide for your program. The accreditation guide provides valuable information, like interpretive language for each standard and element of performance, and provides examples of what is considered evidence for both the desktop review as well as the validation review phases. The URAC website also offers applicants access to the client portal, as well as a link to pose interpretation questions you may have. The client portal provides applicants a catalog of free webinars to choose from, ranging from detailed information on the review process to tackling frequently asked questions and best practices that URAC reviewers have observed as part of their collective experiences. And speaking of URAC reviewers, we're not only experts on the standards, but we're also URAC staff who work in the standards and the programs and with applicants on a daily basis.
Organizations that come to URAC are all shapes and sizes of pharmacies and different levels of already being prepared. So if you in general already have your policies and procedures documented, you've got a really good process for policy management and review and all of that, and you do a lot of documentation already, it's probably not going to be as heavy of a lift, and you'll just have to do a lot more pointing. Oh, this policy meets this standard, this policy meets this standard. If maybe in the past you haven't documented your processes as much, or documented your policies, or have a process for routine quality management committee meetings, then it might be a heavier lift and you might need to put some more resources to it. So one of the best ways to figure that out is, when you're working through the process, is to take the accreditation standards and yep, we already do this, it's documented. Nope, we don't do this, but perform a gap analysis, and that can help you to decide how much you're going to need to do and how many resources you might need to put towards that.
Yeah, so, URAC really doesn't recommend one way or the other. We've seen organizations that work with accreditation consultants that are successful, but also organizations that choose to do it themselves and achieve success. So really, as a reviewer, I'm looking to confirm that you're complying with the standards. And if you're going to work with a consultant, make sure that the policies are your own. Don't rely on them to provide information to you without doing your due diligence to get in there and make those policies your own. Make sure that you're working in those policies day in and day out.
At URAC, we don't expect you to have URAC specific policies and procedures. However, what you will want to make sure your organization does is review the URAC standards against the policies and procedures that you have in place for the other accrediting organization to ensure they're in compliance to the URAC standards.
Yes, achieving accreditation with, again, the gold standard in pharmacy accreditation is quite an accomplishment, and one we hope that folks will celebrate once achieved. I like to think of it this way, like compliance with the URAC standards, it provides you with the tools to operate as a quality organization. You're going to be tracking your performance metrics and clinical outcomes. Those are standards that you need to be, so you need to be doing this, but this can help you to market your services. Like, don't track your outcomes and your successes just to comply with your standards. Do it to optimize patient care, to quantify that success, and then share your ability to demonstrate the quality of your services. I think that's the best way to be able to highlight and leverage all that work that you did during the accreditation process.
And it it comes to some of the feedback that we get, I think that we've spent a lot of time today kind of talking about, accreditation. Seeking accreditation is a lot of work. Lisa, you talked about kind of like that whole team effort that can be required. And we also talked a lot about, the different activities that are involved. But ultimately, working through all of that really works to help strengthen the organizations. And they recognize that. And they know that going through the accreditation process ultimately results in a program that they're proud of. They're proud of the work that they've done. They're proud of what they've achieved. And when a client says that seeking URAC accreditation has made them better, they not only have the experience, but they also have the data to demonstrate that, both to themselves and to the communities that they serve.